to Your Health, where we explore the latest in health across the country. I'm Erica Cardenas. The holiday season is upon us, and this year it's going to look a little different, which can add to the stress of the season. We'll explore some stress busters, but first, let's take a look at what's coming up on the show. How to create a new look for the new year. See why Carrot Eye Center is on the cutting edge of vision. And we settle the debate of dressing versus stuffing. All that and more on this episode of Your Health. In a normal year, holiday stress can be a lot, but add in the pandemic and being away from family, and it can become very overwhelming. Here to give us some expert advice on how to deal with the stress is Dr. Wendy Watson. Doctor, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Now, holiday stress is very real for many people. Are you seeing with your patients that it's more stressful during the pandemic?
Absolutely, Erica. We have this baseline holiday stress that we always have every year. And then it's combined with this really kind of whole year long pandemic stress. And the two combination is really just kind of making people really kind of feel uncertain about what to do and not even know what exactly to do for the holidays. So I definitely feel like people are more stressed than ever right now.
Now, let's talk about people who can't be with their family this year. What advice do you have for them?
My advice I have for them is actually to plan and really reach out to people, really plan that time together, because while we can't really be physically together, we can still do things to make sure that we're actually together on that special day, whether it be Hanukkah or Christmas. We really can just say, look at grandma's time, grandma's Eastern time, look at our time, and we're Western time, and make sure we plan a special moment together. That can really make all the difference in the world, not just for ourselves, but the people we love.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about our kids. How can we help our kids cope with the differences this holiday season?
Well, since I work with families and kids, this is something that comes up all the time right now in my practice. I think the best thing to do is just really have that open communication. Talk to your kids right now about how it's totally normal to be sad that you're not going to be able to see grandma this year or your cousins, that you're disappointed that you can't, have the Christmas that you had last year. That's okay. And even it's okay to share at this point that mom is upset or dad's upset, and disappointed that we can't do that this year. But it doesn't mean that we have to completely write off Christmas or the holidays, that we can actually do something special and create something special together. And so the other thing advice I give is to sit down, plan things out with your kids, keep your kids part of it. You doesn't have to do any big dinners, no big, huge celebrations. It could be something as simple as getting takeout and having holiday movie marathon with the kids. And there's been some lovely things that kids have come up with, like making ornaments for the year, really kind of start some new traditions even for the future holidays.
Now, many people may not even realize that they're stressed. So what does that look like so people can recognize it?
When I really think of stress, I like to think of it really in two components, our minds and our bodies. They go hand in hand. So for the mind, I think of maybe having troubles with sleep. Your mind's racing. You can't go to bed, or you're having troubles focusing, or you might have some mood changes and feel a little more irritable. And for the body, we hold stress really in the middle of our bodies, and that come out as headaches. And come out as maybe trouble swallowing or pain, just clenching our jaws a lot, or pain in our neck from all that muscle tension, pressure in our chest, stomach issues, things like that. So really looking out for those things within yourself is really important to say, I think I'm getting stressed and I need to do something about it.
Now, doctor, let's talk about stress busters. Any tips or advice on stress busters to help us get through the holiday season?
Like people to go back to that mind and that body. So what can you do for your mind? One of the best things you can do for your mind is actually increasing your social interactions with others. It might not be in person, but by Zoom or by telephone, reaching out to people. The other things you can do are things like meditate. Some things you can do for your body, doing things like yoga, exercise is huge for our body. It's a really important way to get rid of stress. Eating healthy, and I'm not telling anybody to go on a strict diet right now. That's okay. No, we're just doing things that we're really going to nourish us, nourish our souls.
Now, of course, Doctor, we're heading into the new year. So psychologically speaking, it can be a lot to go into 2021 with still so much uncertainty. Any advice on how we should approach the new year?
2020 was a year we'll never forget. And this holiday season is a season we'll never forget. So I really think people shouldn't just ignore the season. Do something about it. Do something special. And I also am really encouraging people, and I'm doing this myself, is looking back at the year with all this negative kind of stuff coming out, but looking back at it because there were some positive things, some really wonderful things have happened in our lives. Looking back at my year, I'm so grateful. My mother-in-law went into remission. She's wonderful, sweet. I got to see my niece's first steps. There's some beautiful things that happened, and I really encourage people to write them down and read them to yourself, and to really kind of create your own narrative or your own story for this year. It's not all negative. There's some really wonderful things that happen, and there's some really big hope for the future.
Absolutely. Such great advice. Thank you so much, Dr. Watson, for being with us. For more resources, head over to the website. At Carrot Eye Center, they're on the cutting edge of vision restoration, and they're now offering telemedicine for your convenience.
We really care about your safety when you come in to see us at Carrot Eye Center. So what we've done, we've instituted, pretty much the usual things that you're experiencing when you go anywhere. Temperature checks, we're doing a questionnaire, but on top of that, we've totally revamped our scheduling. So you're not coming in when a whole bunch of other people are coming in. So you'll largely have the clinic to yourself. We have barriers surrounding you when you're in testing, all the equipment's wiped down. Dr. Herring and I are on masks, and so are our entire staff. We really care about your safety.
One of the options that we do offer to our patients is a telemedicine visit, where they can come into our office for a diagnostic visit, and then in the comfort of their own home, talk with either Matt or myself to go through the results of that visit.
When you come in for a telemedicine exam, we want you to think of it exactly the same way as you would coming in for any normal exam. However, we've split it into two parts. So the first part, you'll come in and get all your diagnostic tests. We're going to examine your retina. We're going to look at your cornea. We're going to look at your lens. We're going to test you for glasses and contacts. We're going to do a video exam of your eye. Then you can go home. Go home to the comfort of your own home. You can be at work, wherever's convenient for you, and we'll set up the second part of that exam. That's a personal consultation with Dr. Herring or myself.
Hi Rachel, I'm Dr. Herring. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. Well, thanks for joining us today. Is this your first time doing a telemedicine visit?
It is, yes.
Awesome. Well, I'll talk you through everything. This will be easy, and I think it's actually going to be kind of fun. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see exactly what I'm looking at, okay?
We want you to feel like you're with us. We want you to see what we see, and we want to be able to give you all the diagnostics necessary for you to feel like, and for us to feel like, we got you exactly what you need.
Okay, so the first image we're looking at here is the back of your right eye. What I'm circling with my cursor here is your optic nerve. So at Carrot Eye Center, we take safety very seriously. We've done everything in our power to ensure that you have a safe visit. More importantly, a visit where all of your diagnostic and medical questions are answered. Everything looks absolutely perfect. I don't think that there's any corrective action we need to take for you, other than maybe getting you into a new pair of glasses or contacts, or if you're interested, certainly scheduling a refractive evaluation so that we can look and see if you're a better candidate for LASIK or SMILE.
We want you to feel safe when you come to see us, bottom line. But we also want you to feel taken care of. We take care of people, not just eyeballs. We want to make sure that you are getting the same quality, the same consistency with our expectations at Carrot Eye Center. So when you come for a telemedicine exam, you're getting the very best in a safe, effective, and convenient manner for you. We're really excited about this. We can't wait to see you.
A great stress buster is to think positively, even though the holidays may drive you to your breaking point. Negative thinking can actually trigger the body's stress hormone, so try to maintain a positive outlook. This will keep stress down and help you deal with any holiday challenges. Stick around, we have more coming up on your health. If you're looking for a new look in 2021, we've got a popular makeover for you. And we'll show you how one man's love of nature helped him get sober.
Enjoy local stories from your community in the form of videos, articles, podcasts, live streams, and more. Find it all only at yourview.com.
A great way to enter the new year may be with a new look. The experts at Platinum Plastic Surgery tell us how they can help create the look you're wanting.
My name is Dr. Christopher Costa. I'm a cosmetic plastic surgeon here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I have extensive medical and surgical training for the past 10 years. I've worked with some of the world's experts in rhinoplasty, in breast augmentation, in tummy tuck, and even breast reconstruction. My vision with Platinum Plastic Surgery, I wanted to have a concierge boutique practice where patients were able to receive a level of detail, luxury, and give that sense of self-confidence back to our patients.
From the moment I walked into the door, I really felt like I was a part of the family. Everyone really greeted me with warmth, and we took time to just review my schedule, make sure that I was on target, a lot of good follow-up calls. Really made me feel important, and that this procedure was just as precious to them as well.
The term Mommy Makeover is kind of an umbrella term for a lot of different surgeries that we perform, typically related to some of the changes that happen in the body after giving birth.
I wanted to just feel better about myself, and my kids are grown, and I think it's time for me to celebrate me.
We customize a plan for every patient that will get them the results that they're looking for, and for some patients it's a lot more procedures, and some patients don't have a lot and they just want one little thing kind of worked on, and we can do that for them also.
I've been living with a surgery that just didn't make me happy or feel secure, and after a few years I just couldn't take it anymore. A girlfriend of mine introduced me to Dr. Costa, and after researching him online, finding all his reviews, his work, and meeting with him, he just made me feel secure and my expectations would be met, and it was the office I decided to choose.
I do a lot of revision breast work, and I have so many patients who come to us looking to get that fix because they're like, I am not happy with how I look.
When I first came in for my consultation, Dr. Costa had this state-of-the-art room where he took 3D images of the patient so you can see the outcome and what you would expect from the surgery results.
We're able to actually simulate that implant using 3D images to show them what they will look like afterwards. And for a lot of patients that's important because they want to see, get an accurate representation of what they're going to look like after the breast augmentations.
Dr. Costa helped me feel confident for this year. I'm excited to go out, to go clothes shopping, bikini shopping. This summer is going to be amazing, and I have Dr. Costa to thank for that.
I feel really good. I feel real sassy, real sexy, and I'm ready to just break through my 50s in a real top-notch way.
To learn more about me and Platinum Plastic Surgery, I highly encourage you to go check out our website, which is drcosta.com. There you can find before and after photos of my procedures and learn more information about the procedures I perform.
While in college, Scott felt lost and turned to addictive substances to help him cope. With the help of Decision Point Center, he found his passion and his sobriety.
I was in college struggling with anxiety and depression because I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I grew up. Started drinking more and then found drugs, and pretty much that just made the anxiety and depression, get worse, even though at the time I thought it was better, but it was what I was used to. And I would just go back and forth oh, I want to stop doing drugs. Oh, I don't want to stop doing drugs. I woke up one morning and my mom was like, hey, someone's downstairs, they want to talk to you. And I go downstairs and there wasn't like an actual interventionist, but it was a bunch of my friends, some of my close friends, their parents. They pretty much reassured me that I did need help, and I was at a place where I was just so miserable about where I was. I was like, I do need a change. They were like, we want to send you this place in Arizona. You get to go hiking, do a bunch of cool outdoor stuff. And I'm just like, sounds great. When do I leave? I didn't necessarily think I would stay sober, actually. I was sort of like, all right, I'll go to this rehab for 30 days, you know, just kind of throw a curveball in my life, mix it up. And then slowly I was able to come to terms with, hey, you know, being sober is actually a really good thing. I was actually very pleased because it wasn't like very institutional, hospital-y. It was almost like I was going to Colorado and staying at like a condo. Like, it was actually really nice. I even joked with one of my friends that him and I both got sent to a mandatory summer camp. Just like, you know, kids when they go to summer camp, you know, they make friends. You know, we kind of do the same thing at Decision Point. We're here, we might as well make the best of it. I felt I actually had a real big impression on a lot of the clients there because I showed them how much fun they could have, because, you know, they kind of came in like I did. They're like, oh, I'm in rehab. But I was able to show them the fun side. There's a lot more to life than just drugs and alcohol, you know, especially with the outdoor program Decision Point has. You know, it showed me how much fun it is just to be outside, taking in nature. I've always been a big wildlife nature person even before Decision Point. And then once a month you would go on a couple-day camping trip, whether that be just car camping where your car's right there, or like full-on backpacking out through the wilderness. Even now that I'm out, I thought rehab was great for me. Honestly, even if I didn't have a drug problem, I thought rehab would have been great because it taught me how to deal with stresses that you're gonna come across in your life. Now, almost 9 years after my sobriety date, I'm working as a large predator handler at a wildlife park. That's one thing that's really helping me stay sober, along with the tools Decision Point taught me, just because, you know, those animals mean the world to me and it really is a dream job. Thanks to Decision Point, I have almost 9 years of sobriety.
Exercise is a great stress buster. Keep in mind that if you start a new exercise routine in 2021, it takes 21 days for something to become a habit. So stick with it and it'll pay off. Stick around, here's what's coming up on the show. I have a delicious and healthy stuffing recipe for you, and why saying this one word could help you alleviate your stress.
For more great videos of life up close, visit yourview.com.
Cooking is a great stress reliever for so many, so I wanted to share a delicious recipe to encourage you to get into the kitchen. With the holidays fast approaching, it's a tale as old as time. The good old stuffing versus dressing conversation. And despite having different names, there really isn't a whole lot of difference between the two, each being made with a stock, onions, and some sort of a bread base. So what is the difference then between stuffing and dressing? Well, in the most technical terms, stuffing is stuffed inside of a cavity of a turkey and cooked there, whereas dressing is cooked in a separate vessel, such as a casserole dish. And the name game usually splits along regional lines, so depending on what part of the country you live in, you might prefer the word dressing to stuffing. I myself was raised using the word stuffing and still use the word stuffing. So today I am going to show you how to whip up a quick, easy, healthy, and oil-free stuffing. Your ingredients consist of 1 to 2 cups of a stock. I myself am using a vegetable broth, 4 stalks of celery, 2 carrots, 1 onion, 3 cloves garlic, and about 10 cups of bread. You can either use a whole grain bread or a multi-grain bread, works well. And your dried herbs, half a teaspoon of rosemary and 1 teaspoon of parsley. Once you've chopped up your vegetables, you're gonna go ahead and saute them over medium-high heat for about 7 to 8 minutes. Then you're gonna cube up your bread and stick it in the oven to toast it for a little bit. You don't want it to become too rock solid, hard like a crouton, but you do want it to have a little toast, a little crunchiness to it. Now my bread is finished toasting and the veggies are almost finished sauteing. I went ahead and used a little bit of the vegetable stock instead of butter or oil. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add the minced garlic and the dried herbs and saute that up just a little bit more. And finally, it's time to bake. I went ahead and combined the bread and the sauteed veggies, added about 1.5 cups of vegetable stock to moisten it up. You can use more or less depending on your preference. Gonna stick this in the oven with foil on top for about 30 minutes. Stuffing is served. Whether you're a die-hard dressing fan or an avid supporter of stuffing, we can agree on one thing in the dressing versus stuffing debate. Both are delicious. That stuffing is so good. I highly recommend that you try it out. Stick around, we have more coming up on the show. We'll share simple ways to cope with stress this holiday season.
Enjoy local stories from your community in the form of videos, articles, podcasts, live streams, and more. Find it all only at yourview.com.
Remember, the holiday season is supposed to be joyful, but it's so easy for it to quickly become a burden. Here are a few more tips to beat stress. Go for a walk or a hike. Getting out in the sun stimulates production of the feel-good hormone serotonin, which helps relieve sadness. Don't be afraid to say no. Everyone goes overboard to please others with shopping, cooking, and gift giving. Just say no to one of them and you'll feel much better. Go tech-free. Constant phone alerts keep us in a fight or flight mode, which contribute to stress levels. Shut off your phone when you can to be stress-free. And reach out if you feel lonely or sad. Seek out community, religious or social groups that can offer support. Volunteering your time can also help others while lifting your spirits. Thanks so much for joining us on Your Health. Stay well this holiday season. I'm Erica Cardenas, and I'll see you next time.